Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Wonky Power live sessions. We have very special guests tonight.
Hey.
Today. Shit,
Hey.
It's not tonight. It's
Get your motherfucking time right. Check your clocks.
Fat Tony, everyone. Let's give him a round of applause in the studio.
I'm going to give myself a round of applause today. Might as well, you know.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, we're excited. You want to get right into it?
Yes, I do. So my name is Fat Tony from 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas. It's an honor to be back in my hometown. I'm on tour right now with my brother Cadence Weapon. You dig? I had the last 2 days off, spent them in New Orleans, so I'm well rested. This first song is called Ain't For Me. It's my latest single, and it's about getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new. This song's about a black American family who moves out of the United States for the first time to a new country that becomes their new home. The song is called Ain't For Me, produced by GoldenEye. Gotta look that far to see that this motherfucker really ain't meant for me. This bitch really ain't built for me. That we built this motherfucker, did it all for free. I'ma need a fee, I'ma need to flee, I'ma need to leave immediately. As soon as I can, I'ma make another plan. As soon as I can, I ain't coming back again. Goddamn, this shit ain't changed one bit. One after the other, man, the country's so sick. On God, I think a nigga gon' flip. Hell yeah, I'm finna dip. It's a risk just to live in this motherfucker. Why it's like this, I gotta escape. My life on the line, cause you made a mistake. Caught up in your feelings that you kill me, no way. Talk out, can a nigga get a break? I ain't gotta look that far to see that this motherfucker really ain't meant for me. This bitch really ain't built for me. That we built this motherfucker, did it all for free. I'ma need a fee, I'ma need to flee, I'ma need to leave immediately. As soon as I can, I'ma make another plan. As soon as I can, I ain't coming back again. Got the flights ready, gone in the morning. I'm ready, trying to meet my new home. And I got my wife with me, I got my son with me, whole fucking life with me. My cousin think I'm wrong, but my daddy riding with me, mama too. Wish she could do this in her day. For about a year, we went through the growing pains. Year 2, now we moving in our own groove. And we blessed, still got money coming from the US, can't lie. Privilege got me more than getting by. Here we still got conflict, gotta fight. But here ain't got a history of beating niggas down. The straight disrespect, just wear a nigga out. I ain't tryna see America for a minute. I ain't tryna see it unless it is for a visit. If you feel the same, I suggest you pivot. If you feel the same, let me help you to the finish. I ain't gotta look that far to see that this motherfucker really ain't meant for me. This bitch really ain't built for me. That we built this motherfucker, did it all for free. I'ma need a fee, I'ma need to flee, I'ma need to leave immediately. As soon as I can, I'ma make another plan. As soon as I can, I ain't coming back again. Thank you very much. A song was Ain't For Me by Fat Tony, produced by GoldenEye. This next song is called Je ne sais quoi. It's a dense poem about redemption and the beauties of life, from the mundane to the extraordinary. This beat has a certain je ne sais quoi, with a quality much like dust from a star. When I try to describe it so hard, the aroma is like coming out of coma. And the moment that you smell your wife, remembered how you know her. Out in Arizona, staring at a cactus in the desert, standing taller than a sculpture at the MoMA. Feels like the wheel on the first car you own. Tastes like the first meal in your new home. After 50 years, no smoke. And since the last pack, you ain't had a cough or a sore throat. You put it all on the line and you went flat broke. Met me, got a job, now you're back on your feet. This beat got a certain je ne sais quoi, with a quality much like dust from a star. It's like taking her home and removing her bra. When I try to describe it so hard, it's like you and your boy sharing one bedroom. As the lights flicker, he shares the last piece of food. Long day at work got you stressed and you mad, but you come home, son says you're the best dad, and it ain't a regular thing that occurs. It's that motherfucker's very first words. 2 nights, Las Vegas. First night, lost everything. Second night, one big, bought her a wedding ring. You put it all on the line and you thought you went broke, but the taste of defeat ain't on the menu this week. This beat got a certain je ne sais quoi. With a quality much like dust from a star. From the heavens above to right where you are. When I try to describe it so hard, it's like seeing your wife become a mother. You're reminded why you love her that high. Out in Arizona, staring at a waterfall, savoring the moment. Feels like the grip on the first bike you own. Tastes like the first meal when you came home. After 50 years in a cell, got a second chance, now you can finally exhale. You put it all on the line and you went flat broke. Met me, got a job, now you're back on your feet. This beat got a certain je ne sais quoi. This is a redemption song. You can do it too. You can do it too. Thank you, Wonky Power.
Very nice, dude. Very nice. Dude, take a seat, man. Let's get that.
Hey, y'all got any towels in here? I like to wipe down, you know. Yeah. I ain't boosty or nothing, but wipe me down.
Let's get you set up right here, my man. Dude.
Wonderful. Thank you. This is perfect, man. Thank you very much.
Let's get some towels.
Rapping in the afternoon, you know. Yo, shout out to GoldenEye. He's the unseen force here. He's doing all the processing on my vocals, so all the delays and effects. He's behind the curtain working his magic. And he on the beats, too. Look at that. Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. Wow.
All of it, bro.
I'll sneeze in these later. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. All of it, bro. Dude, Tony.
Talk to me.
Shit, man. This is wild.
I know.
This is wild. This is the first time we've actually had something like this, right, David?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
I mean, I guess we're gonna hop in. Like, how do you decide what becomes a single and what doesn't? I mean, the record's got a ton of great songs on it. So, how do you pick? Well, this is the next single.
Well, I like to think of how singles play with each other, right?
Okay.
So I always imagine the perfect scenario where I have a listener who is hearing everything in the order that I'm putting it out. So I'm not going to pick the first single without thinking what the third single is going to be and vice versa.
Okay.
With this album, since it's so story-driven, I wanted to lead with a song that was really fun and high energy because I felt like some of the record could be heady for some people to get into. So we led with Feeling Groovy as the first single, and I think it worked. Then we followed that up with Gambling Man, which we felt like was even more in the story direction, like a hardcore story. The beat's a little slower. That's a song where it's really about getting into the world of the character that we're presenting.
Sure.
So we led with that second. So we pretty much feel like if you love Feeling Groovy and were excited by that appetizer, we followed up with Gambling Man, Bring You In More. Then we really throw you on your ass with the Je ne sais quoi song, which I think is maybe my favorite song on my latest album. And then follow that up with the mariachi version of Gambling Man, which is really
great, dude.
For the diehards and for motherfuckers who know what we about.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, were you excited about? I mean, you're excited about the whole record, but you say that's my favorite song. Why is that your favorite song? You think?
You know, honestly, when I make music, it's kind of later that I understand what I'm doing. So it's through like all the performance I've done that I figure out what songs I'm most proud of, and that's the song that I enjoy performing the most. I think the beat is really interesting, how I'm like rhyming over like a vocal sample at some points. I would say that Je ne sais quoi is a type of rap song I've always wanted to make my entire life. So maybe that's why it's my favorite.
That's incredible, man. Yeah, there's a lot of different elements going on with the music. Just the musical composition behind it, dude, it's incredible, man.
Thank you.
That was you and GoldenEye producing that track, right?
Yeah.
Dude, how
the
hard?
Whole album.
The whole album together. That's right. How hard was it to make that one song, though, that your favorite?
I feel like, man, he can probably tell you better, but I feel like that was a song that as soon as we had the concept, it was locked in and ready to go. And we finished the first verse when we were writing the album. And then I later wrote the second verse when he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And then when I came to Jamaica to actually record the album, that's when we wrote the third verse.
Oh, wow.
And I made the third verse just kind of pull from the elements of the first and second verse to kind of tie it all in together.
Yeah. That's a really nice track.
I mean, was it a trip recording in Jamaica?
Yeah, I mean, it was really good because there's no fucking distractions at all. Like, I don't have a lot of friends there, you know what I mean? Where, like, we recorded, like, I couldn't just, like, take a walk and go do something. Like, you're kind of, like, stuck in this spot. And I think for the recording process, it was really healthy because actually recording the record is more focused, I think, than, like, writing. Like, I feel like when I write, I like to live and have a lot of experiences. I want to go out. I want to have some meals. I want to go to some parties. I want to have some conversations that kind of feed the writing. Mm-hmm. But the recording part, we've kind of written everything, and now it's just about me getting the best vocals possible.
Sure.
And I definitely get my best vocals when I'm not talking to motherfuckers, and you know what I mean? like I'm not draining my voice or straining my voice. It's just focused on using my voice for this one project. So I would like to keep making albums that way. Take some time to write, and then take some time off, and then come back to just record.
Nice, man. And in Jamaica, you said you mostly wrote everything in Jamaica, or just some of it?
No, the whole album was written here in the U.S.
Okay.
Wrote it in Brooklyn, where I lived at the time.
Okay.
GoldenEye came to Brooklyn. We recorded at our good friend Steel Tip Dove studio.
Nice.
And that's where we made all the demos and like did the foundational writing, which is really like getting the foundation of the beat, getting the concept, getting a hook, and getting a verse.
Okay.
That's the bare minimum for every song.
Yeah.
If it's a really good day, then we'll finish the whole song, but the main focus is get a verse, a hook, a beat, a concept.
Nice.
And once you have that locked in, you already have the guidelines to keep writing the rest of it.
That's right.
I think the hardest part is trying to pull from stuff and figure out what it's going to be.
Yeah, for sure, man. And recently you were in Jamaica too, right? Did you
I was just there like a month ago. Me and GoldenEye are working on a new record right now.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. New record in the works already?
Yeah, I'm like working on a bunch of shit. Like me and GoldenEye.
It's quick.
Me and GoldenEye making a project. Me and Tate Dex are making some more music. Me and Young Skirt are making music. Like now that we've kind of had this like year of pushing this last album, I kind of want to just go out into the world, make as much music as possible, and then figure out how it's supposed to come out and where it's supposed to come out and what makes sense with each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when you did my podcast, I remember you said you were really focusing on this new record and that's it.
Yeah.
Is that still the vibe? Like just basically songs off this new record?
Well, we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Exotica, which is going to be October 23rd.
Congratulations, man.
And thank you. And my whole dream was to push this album for at least a year, because I feel like we live in a world where music is super duper disposable, not just on the audience end, but on the artist end. Artists are quick to move on to the next project. And I'm an Aries, so I'm super quick to move on.
Quick.
But I wanted to really focus in on this because I feel like this is an album that we labored over more than past work, and it just has a lot more stories and concepts and the kind of things that might take time for it to grow on you, right? So I wanted to give the audience that time and also show them that I really respect this album, and like this isn't just like a thing I'm doing and I'm moving on. Like I'm really trying to drive home that this is a mode that I think I work best in.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, it's different for sure. Like, I mean, first listen, I was like, it's good, but it's not great. And now I'm like, oh, I love this record, you know?
Nice.
I think it's because there's so many different elements. I mean, was there ever when you were recording or writing, was there ever a moment where you're like, oh, what am I going to put here? Or was it you knew the whole time?
if I didn't know what to do, I just stepped away from it and I waited. Like, I feel like I do my worst work when I'm trying to force it. You know what I mean? Because I'm just not that type of person.
Right.
I'm the type of person that my best work comes when it feels like it just flows, period. And I think even though that's not the motto of, like, studio day in, day out, always making shit, you know what I mean? I just think that that just works for me. Like, when I have in the past tried to be in the studio every day, I feel like I've made a lot of mediocre stuff. A lot of it never came out because I determined that it wasn't fit to come out.
Sure.
But, yeah, like, I'm just best at living my life. And I think that the best writers, or my favorite writers, are people who have a full life outside of their work. Even if they don't talk about their life and their work, just those lived experiences just build up, you know, everything that makes great art.
Yeah. No, that's real. I mean, I think that, there's a ton of artists where we don't know. I mean, like, I was thinking of somebody the other day, and I was like, oh, that's weird. He's got another record coming out. I get it. You know, you got the momentum, so you just kind of keep going. Is that kind of how this new project with GoldenEye looks? Like, it's just...
Nah. You know, like what I'm really telling you is, like, the behind-the-curtain stuff, like me making music. It's like, not forward-facing yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I don't want to make those choices until records are done.
Yeah.
The same way we did with this album. Like, making this album, we didn't go into it fully knowing what it would be. We had some ideas, then we made it, and then we looked at our work, and we were like, oh, this is how we can show it to the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. The other question that I had is, you're a person that likes to move around. It seems like move around the country. You know, have different experiences. How does that kind of translate to all your music that you make? You know, I hear it. Does that really kind of I don't know, influence all the music, all the people that you meet, all the places that you see? Because I know you've been in Brooklyn, you lived in California, obviously you're from Houston, and now you are in Arizona, I believe. That's right. And Jamaica, you know, just you're everywhere, and I'm sure a bunch of other places. Do you just like traveling around and being in certain cities for such a certain amount of time and then going to the next one? Or how does that kind of work? Or does that go with your work? Kind of give us a little bit of information on that, or details, man. Like, that's amazing, dude. Yeah.
Yes to every question.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky that I grew up here in Houston, and I've lived here. I've lived in Mexico City. I've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived in
awesome.
Los Angeles. I wouldn't make the music that I make unless I left home. GoldenEye grew up in fucking Atlanta. I never left Texas till I met him. I never got on an airplane. He's the first person that I knew who lived somewhere else. I like saved up money for my part-time job, and then I flew to Atlanta. And then I figured out, it's not that expensive or hard to fly. Let me hit up friends of mine who go to schools around the country, and I go visit them. You know, like, so many of my friends that I made some of my best music with are people that I wouldn't have met if I didn't venture outside of my comfort zone. Even here in Houston, the first time I met Ill Fate, it was my first time going to Mo City. I had never been there. You know what I mean? I grew up strictly south side of Houston in 3rd Ward, Sunnyside, Yellowstone, South Park. All of my family, friends, schools, churches were all in that area. And the furthest that I ventured out that was different for me was Montrose and downtown. And I loved going there. But after I started going to college, you know, I got to branch out more, and I haven't looked back since.
That's incredible, man. Yeah, like, those experiences, I'm sure, definitely shaped all the music that you made, because I can hear it, and it's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
It's I'm in awe to hear all the music, man. Especially Exotica. It's just has a blend of so many different styles of music, which I love, you know, electronic to Latin to tropical, hip hop, indie, you know, like, just everything. It's a big clash of great sounds, man.
It's just me.
Yeah, you know? Dude, it's just you. I love the artwork, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
the art's
nice.
Beautiful.
It's really
beautiful.
nice, man. I know you're giving me a quick story, a background story. Do your followers, your fans know about the story behind this?
Yeah, so I wanted to make an album cover that was similar to Pedro Bell, who's the graphic artist for P-Funk albums. Because I felt like when you have this, like, world I'm trying to build with all this like, characters, I want to visualize that for people in a way that's more than just like a music video or something that's kind of permanently attached to the music itself. And I was scratching my head trying to find someone, and then a friend of mine posted on Instagram that he's looking for people to do some album covers.
Okay.
And I was like, oh shit, why don't I just ask him?
He is actually a childhood friend of GoldenEye.
Okay.
And
cool.
I reached out to him. I like sent him the album, and I said, you know, these are the lyrics, these are the characters. I want you to draw them as you see fit. I'm looking for some Pedro Bell type of stuff, and he came with this.
Came with this one. Yeah, which is
he is named Nagasi Armada. He is LA based, and he's a graphics artist and a rapper. He was also featured on my other album, Wake Up, on the song Godly.
Okay, great. Yeah, man. This is incredible. Yeah, whenever we were here hanging out for Club Exotica, we had a long conversation about this, and it's just beautiful. And I know that recently you've been wanting to maybe auction the actual original artwork, or am I incorrect on that?
I would like to do an art show. I would love to do it in Mexico City or in Houston, where like I not only show the art that he made for this album, but the rest of his work. Yeah. He also drew a painting for the mariachi version of Gambling Man. Yeah. Which I need to blow up big too.
That's awesome, bro.
But yeah, you know, I just want to do more parties and more events that are centered around the art itself. Like I feel like coming up, we were so eager to get folks in the building. So every concert was like open bar, you know, just like pack them in, right? Yeah. And I kind of feel like in this post-COVID world where we're a little more skeptical about how we spend our time and like the places that we want to congregate, I want to make sure that every event I do has a purpose, you know?
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. And tonight you're having a concert at White Oak Music Hall upstairs, man. Everybody that's watching, dude.
Should have been a Wonky Power.
Hey, man.
If you ask me.
Hey, bro, tonight's going to be great. White Oak Music Hall upstairs. Tickets are available right now, right? And you just added local artist Peyton. That's right, man. Like
Peyton.
That, you've always
so
been
important.
Man. Tony's always been a guy to put on like a lot of independent local musicians on his bills, which I love.
Yeah,
I think it's important.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of artists that don't get traction until that happens.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I remember it's been a while, but you opened for somebody, and I was just like, how does that happen? And I meant to ask you, but I didn't know you at the time. I was just like, that's crazy. Now, since you've just headlined every time I've seen you. Yeah. But, I mean, do you ever have that feeling like, hey, this is going to help them out? Or are you just like, whatever?
Well, in Peyton's case, it's, we're friends too. And it's a more personal reason as far as helping him out. But I would say that I feel like when you get to expose people to new music, you're not only helping the artist out, but you're helping out the audience too. Like my favorite example of this is Kurt Cobain, because when they were big, he would take the Breeders on tour and Shonen Knife and what's that queercore band, Pansy Division, you know. And I just thought that it was so cool. I mean, that happened before my time, but like looking back at it, I'm like, wow. This like guy has like a huge record, and he's bringing these bands that normally play to like a few hundred people and like putting them in front of like thousands of people. Yeah. And I just think that that's cool. And why not? Because, you know, the whole reason why I like music and why I got into music, especially punk and rap music, is it's about a community. Yeah. Whether it's the artists or the agents or the record store clerks or the bartenders or the people that's making the zines or like the motherfuckers panhandling outside of the show. Like all of us live in this ecosystem where we need each other, and I feel like music is moving further and further away from that, so I want to at least have that in my world of music.
Yeah, man. Like I always love that about you, dude. And I know the last show that you had here in Houston, you had another band called Fade 'Em All. Yeah, man, and they're great too. The local punk band, and
gotta put the youth out there.
Yeah, man. And they're young, bro. And like I think after that show, they just started getting all these other big shows too. So it's like, and then with Peyton, another big artist that's on the come up, you know. And I think that's just incredible for you to do that, bro. Like that's a lot of respect.
People did it for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you're paying it back, paying it forward, dude. That's great, man. But I know that. I don't want to keep you. Oh, it's 1:48, dude. My bad. I thought we were rushing.
We all good, man.
Yeah, man. Because you got to be at White Oak Music Hall tonight. Again, everybody want to give that message to everybody that's watching. If you want to check out Fat Tony live in person tonight, Fat Tony with Peyton. Anybody else on the bill? Cadence Weapon. That's right. That was going to be another question.
Yeah.
Cadence Weapon.
My Canadian brother.
Yeah. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. How did that happen? I mean, how did you guys get together on this tour?
So this is our third time going on tour together. which is really nice to go on tour with an artist that you know well and you know their like habits and you know how y'all can get along on tour. I first met him at South by Southwest, I think in 2008. I went to one of his shows based on a recommendation, and I loved it. Then I bought his album, jammed the fuck out of it, and like 4 years later, he asked me to go on tour with him in 2012. Kept in touch. We made music a few years later. He asked me to go on tour with him again in 2018.
Nice.
Now it's 2021, and I'm bringing him on tour, and we're having fun, you know?
Yeah, man. I like the flyers that you guys have been using for for the tour.
Yeah,
It's
man.
cool.
I like just thinking about it. You know, I know it's kind of corny because people fucking like use Basquiat to, like
Yeah.
they fucking like corporate America
Say it.
uses Basquiat
Say it, bro.
to his last bone fragments, right?
For sure.
But I love the poster of Basquiat and Warhol because it's like two art heavyweights, and that's who I feel me and Cadence Weapon are.
Okay.
So I asked my longtime graphic designer, Derek Garcia, to put together something that mimics that poster.
Okay, cool.
Me and Cadence Weapon did photo shoots for it and like really tried to recreate what that poster was and the whole spirit of it.
Yeah, man. That's pretty cool to kind of push.
Yeah,
that
y'all
out there.
did a good job.
Thank
I
you.
mean, okay, especially because some of the layouts have the original, in it, and you don't realize, until you start turning the page, you're like, oh my God, it looks exactly like it. I mean, as far as like a whole tour kind of thing goes, I mean, is what you're doing now, are we kind of seeing the end of Exotica, or are we kind of getting to that point?
I don't think it ever has an end.
Okay.
But I do like this model that I'm doing of playing the whole album, which I started with this tour. I played a full record, and then I do another set of all my older songs, and I feel like it's a great way for people to really experience the album.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I think that your live show should always be better than your record every time. It
Yeah.
should feel
Yeah.
better and
Makes sense.
sound better.
Yeah.
So I want to sell them on what the album is when I'm performing every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm in the habit of making albums that are only like 20 to 30 minutes, so it's not a big task to perform the whole record.
Yeah. The mariachi version that you made recently, would you ever do that live with a mariachi?
I did it live.
Oh, did
for
you?
This Pepsi thing earlier this year. But I would love to do it live at one of my concerts.
Like concerts, that's what I
That'd
mean.
be
Yeah.
beautiful. I
Yeah.
think we need to make that happen maybe at Wonky Power.
Yeah, man, we could do that. We're actually gonna have you do. We haven't released or put out the date yet, but when is it? December or January when we're having?
It's December 4th.
December 4th. Yeah, we're gonna have you at Axelrad actually. And,
nice.
Maybe we could do something special there. Maybe for just one track, and then bring out a mariachi. Maybe
You know what?
two
There's
tracks.
a mariachi band here that I used for that Pepsi thing. I could totally link y'all. That'd be
link
fun.
us up. Maybe that could be a thing that we can figure out. 'Cause
Get
I think-
Axelrad to spend those big bucks.
Yeah,
on
that's
them,
what I
you know?
mean. I'm sure they can do that, man. Like I'm sure we can do that because that's just an incredible video. And I did see the live version with the Pepsi as well, dude. That's what kind of I don't know what made you inspired to do that with a mariachi, like for real, like inside of your bones. Like was it just the song itself called for it, or did you want to try something different? Like I just want to go fucking far left field on something like this.
I think that the song called for it. Because
Okay.
when I wrote the song, like, even before we started writing the lyrics, my vision was a man down and out who's all alone walking through the desert.
Yeah.
And I felt like mariachi music fits that imagery.
Yeah, mysterious.
Especially when it's like a genre that has a lot of songs about being a journeyman or loneliness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those like kind of horns can really emote a lot of sadness.
That is true.
Which I feel like is kind of the underbelly of this character, even though he isn't walking around with like a chip on his shoulder. Like he's like a generally happy guy who is pretty okay about his life. But anyone that is trying and constantly winning and losing over and over again has to feel like there's a bit of a hole that they're trying to fill in them.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I totally get that, man. But yeah, I remember you sent me the link, and I just love the video. Have you seen it, David?
Yeah, I have. It's good.
The Gambling Man mariachi version.
It's good. I was actually really impressed by how you put everything together because it could have been so much worse, and it was great. I mean, there's very few times you see a video and you're like, oh wow, this is actually really good, but it conveyed the music so well. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, no, I was curious, when you're, because it's one thing I didn't get to ask you in the past was, when you're going to make a record, I mean, do you know what it's going to be when you're going to do it, or is it y'all figure that out when you're there?
Figure out when you're there. I mean, I can't like I like to keep a lot of notes, and I make demos and stuff, but I feel like when it comes to actually making the record, I hardly use that. Like that stuff is just practice to keep my mind going on the in between periods when I'm not making a project.
Yeah.
But I really like to go in there and try to be as blank as possible and just let the spirit guide me.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the other question that I did have for you was, you've been a part of many big shows such as Vice, and you've been a big, you're a celebrity, you're huge.
I'm not a celebrity.
Man, I see you everywhere. So let's I see all the production behind your work, right? And especially video. Did being a part of all these big productions, such as, let's just say, Vice and all these different platforms that you've been on, did that help you with your professional career, like seeing all that? Because that's kind of that's separate. Do you separate that?
Yeah.
You separate that?
I kind of look at some of that stuff as like my day job sometimes.
Okay, yeah. I kind of want to get to that.
It is like kind of artsy.
Yeah.
But I straight up look at like a TV show as like my day job. To be honest with you.
Yeah, man. I want you to be honest. I think that's very compelling.
But I think the main thing that I learned from it was you always have more power when you create your own thing.
Mm-hmm. Like
with my Vice show. The Vice show sucked because it really wasn't our vision. Me and the other host have a totally different vision from what that show ended up being. Mm-hmm. But then you have another show like Thrift Hall, which is all me and my friend's vision, and it was so loved. And I love that one. And I think it's because it was actually me. I went to a birthday party once, and I met Donald Glover, and one thing that he told me was that he feels like his own career didn't really get going till he had his own TV show and kind of redirected his music career to being more in his own voice. And that's when he had a song that went over better. And that's when he had a TV show that was loved better. He felt like, everything that he did before, he was being a good actor, a good writer, he was getting known, but it wasn't really him, and people just like that character. But when he has his own property, it's like, we love him and his mind and his taste. And I think every artist should always try to do something that better reflects them, because that's what's going to connect with people.
Yeah, dude. Man, you couldn't have said it any better,
Yeah, that
bro.
works perfect.
Yeah, dude, because I know, so your day job, TV shows.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, man, a host, TV show, you do interviews as well with different people, and yeah, dude, I think it's amazing that and a little bit baffling that he sees that as a day job, right?
Yeah.
Because
it is.
I would think,
Vice, I went into an office, I had to be there at 9 a.m.
Damn.
I had a card to swipe in.
Oh, yeah?
There, you know what I mean? You're in a writer's room. It's a fucking job.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
You know
I can
what
get that, yeah.
Even though it's like TV and shit. It's a job.
Yeah, man, I think it's great, but I'm sure that definitely maybe helped you now see what you want to even do more, right? That
Absolutely.
Kind of, you have the pursuit there.
Changed my life.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad that you helped me answer that, dude, because I always thought about that when I would see everything that you were a part of. I'm like, man, his career is just everywhere, right? But splitting it up that way, I think is pretty great. Like, that's my day job, bro, and then I got my career over here,
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of folks do it. I think it's more common in acting and stuff. Like I know a lot of actors who have writing jobs at TV shows.
Okay.
And even though they might go on speaking tours for their own thing, maybe they're writing a book, they're trying to do a film or something, but they have this other side that's just work that kind of propels them to meet more people in their industry and keep money in their pockets. Because I think every artist should have some money going on, because you can't really do anything unless you have money. So I push artists to get a job.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I
that's
think it's
real.
smart.
I think that that's the hardest thing of doing any kind of artful thing is to keep money. I don't even, like yourself, I'm sitting there thinking, how does he keep it going? He's living in Arizona. I guess he just waits till like a check comes in. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I don't know how I do it, to be honest, but it happens. I feel like no one ever really knows why it's working when it's working.
That is true.
You just keep going.
That's real.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's some wisdom right there, everybody. Listen to that again.
I mean, I think it's hard for anybody, especially like you're doing this tour, and it does feel real personal, like it doesn't feel like, oh, it's just here's some dates and we're going to go do these dates and that's it. Every night feels personal. Like I looked at the dates and there's days between them, and I know some of that's travel, but most of that's just chilling, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like seeing people you haven't seen in years and things like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, are there moments of the tour that have already happened that you like think, oh man, that was what's up? I mean, that's...
Oh my God, yes. We had a great time in fucking Chicago. We had a great time in New Orleans on some days off.
Yeah.
We had an excellent show in Brooklyn. Yeah, I feel like this tour is really meant to lift our spirits because everyone on this tour has been in the house like most of us.
Yeah.
And we're in an industry where we've been hit really hard. Like live entertainment has been making no money and not getting any help from our government or anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this tour isn't just for us to make some money and meet fans, but to like remind ourselves why we're artists and why we love music and why we love being on stage.
Yeah, man. Like, it's been hard for sure.
Yeah.
Is this your return to the live stage since the shutdown and COVID and everything?
This is my first tour. Like
Wow.
I've done some like one-off shows in like Texas, Florida, places that didn't give a fuck. But but like I haven't been on tour like this in a couple years.
Yeah.
I haven't been on tour since 2019.
Shit, man.
So
It's been a while.
here we go again.
Can you touch a little bit on your comment? Texas and Florida don't really give a fuck.
I mean,
Can
during
you
the
give me an idea?
pandemic, shit was wide open. I mean, y'all were here.
Yeah,
granted,
for sure.
We pretty much.
I
think
get where you're coming
we only
from, yeah.
played the outdoor shows
Yeah.
during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But the only place to really do the outdoor shows were Texas and Florida, really,
No,
or
yeah.
at least the places that like called me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I thought you meant it in a different context where you were saying like Florida and Texas like don't give a fuck like in regards to coming out to the live shows. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't give a fuck about the
About
pandemic.
the fucking pandemic.
They,
Dude, no,
they
hell
in the
no.
fucking streets out here.
Dude,
What?
Dude, they didn't give a damn, bro. Come on.
What? Wide open.
Yeah.
Fully
COVID
open.
never happened here. You
Nah,
know
man.
what I mean?
There was no way. No, there's no way that could have hit us, bro. We had a barrier around the states.
and our current governor is just making it worse. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Greg Abbott. He's horrible. He's a terrible.
Absolutely fucking tyrant.
I feel
dude.
so bad for all Texans who have to live under him because I think that not only the pandemic and this abortion shit's crazy, but I feel like that winter storm really showed how the Texas government feels about us.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And
I mean, it was just wild. The whole thing was wild. But that's just kind of how it is, You take the bad with the good.
That's right.
It's just unfortunately right now there's a lot more bad than good.
Jeez, tell us about it, bro.
That's why you were asking me about how tour's going. I said it's more ups than downs.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I mean?
Well, I think that we're on an upswing, don't you? I mean,
Absolutely.
You felt, I feel the same.
It feels like everybody's kind of coming back and coming back better. Some people aren't touring until next year, but I've heard that it's hard to get dates.
Yeah,
because there's so many.
out.
Yeah, everything's booked out.
How hard was it actually for this tour? for
We
you?
started booking this like 8 months in advance, like way further out than we normally book because of that. Because even at like the top of this year, I was hearing like the fall was booked up at many venues.
Yeah, and it still is, like you were saying, man. And the unfortunate thing about, let's just say, local venues here in Houston, a lot of them shut down too because of the fucking.
And I hate that.
Yeah, man. So it's been a little crazy of a struggle. But dude, we're excited that you're here in Houston, bro, and we're very excited that you're gonna be performing tonight at White Oak Music Hall, upstairs. $15 a ticket.
Yes.
Get it tonight, please. Doors are at
7 p.m. Peyton starts at 8 p.m. And I encourage everybody listening to come see her perform.
Yeah, go check out Peyton, up and coming local R&B singer.
That's right.
Songwriter, incredible. And dude, Fat Tony, bro, like It's great to have you in the studio,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks so
Jeez.
much for coming.
Great to talk to y'all, man. I love
bro.
you guys. I've
Love
been
you
rocking
too,
with
man.
y'all in this music scene for like a decade at least.
At least, bro. Shit. Has
wild.
it been a
Yeah,
fucking decade,
that's about.
man?
Yeah.
Jeez. Boys' night out. Jeez.
Boys night out for life, you know what I mean? You know what? So me and Mario have this inside joke called Boys Night Out because I think in 2010 I had to go to court the next morning to get sentenced for my probation. So I wanted to go out and turn the fuck up. Me and my boy and these two girls, we went to what's that bar called? Poison Girl. Yeah, nigga. And I acted an ass till I had to go to court the next morning. My bitch ass lawyer was like, I came into court. He's like, "Yo, are you drunk?" I'm like, "Nigga, yes. I'm about to be on probation. Who gives a fuck? Like, I'm not getting out of this."
Oh
so,
my
yeah,
God.
thank you for that.
Hey,
It was
man.
a very memorable night.
That's horrible. Jeez, that's the story that we're gonna end this with.
Yeah.
Nah,
No.
my lawyer was whack as fuck. He like cheated me. He was like,
Oh,
yo,
man.
he was like a family friend type of lawyer.
Oh, okay.
But he was just all about the money. He was like, yo,
Fucking
if you
asshole.
paid me more, I like could have thrown this case out because
what
it
a
was an
shithead.
illegal search. I'm like, bro, I'm like 19. Like, can you
Yeah.
help me
Son
out?
of a bitch. Is he still practicing? This son of a.
I don't know. Fuck him.
Hey, man. Yeah, that boys' night out, bro. Hey, I apologize for.
No, thank you.
We
No,
were
thank you. I had a great time. You know what? And I must have not been 19. I had to be 21. I was in
Yeah.
the bar. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I had a great time.
Good save, man. Good save. Nah, man. We
Yeah.
do go way back, dude. And I just I seen you just rise up to.
You too. What you
Thanks,
mean?
man. Hey, but this is about you, man. We're spotlighting you. Thank you, though. Thank you. And it's just so great to see that, man. We're all very, very excited for you. We're proud of you, and the whole city loves you, bro. And I know tonight's gonna be a great night. I'll be
Yeah.
there, you know. And I'm gonna see if the guys are gonna be a part of it too. We'll have a good
Please.
time tonight.
Let's
and
have some fun.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And everybody that's watching, please check out go to White Oak Music Hall website. It's right now on the link right now in the description of this video. You could get your tickets for tonight. And when's your next show, bro? Like after tonight?
Tomorrow we're going to San Antonio,
Nice.
and then Friday we'll be in Austin. So this is the Texas leg of our tour. If you're in Texas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. Come kick it with us.
Yeah.
That's right, man. Dude, anything else?
No, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man. Thank you,
Thank
bro.
you, David. Thank you, Mario.
Thank
Y'all are
you,
great
bro.
people for
Dude,
real.
thank you, Tony.
Y'all
Appreciate
love
you.
this scene
Hey,
and
bro.
the shows.
Hey, that's right,
Thank
bro. Thank you so much, bro. And I think we're ready to roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Till next
Yeah.
time, everybody. Peace. Dude, that was great.
Yeah.
Great interview. Y'all are pros.
Man, we trying to be like you, man.